Hi, this is Laptop Radio. Today's show is the ABCs of Smart Contract with Michael Holdmann, CEO of Prasaga. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Just fine, Michelle. How are you today?
I am doing good. I'm really excited about this talk. I've been a transactions attorney for a long time, and I write these things. So I'm really excited that the smart contracts are coming to the world. Let me ask you a very, very basic question. What is smart contracts?
So a smart contract, in my mind, is a digital representation of an agreement between two parties that ensures that settlement of whatever the transaction is supposed to be, whether it be monetary or some sort of a property transaction, that full settlement is not completed until all conditions are met under that specific contract, and it's all autonomous with no manual interruption.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because when you look at a regular contract, it consists of an offer, an acceptance, and consideration. And of course, there's conditions. And with smart contracts, once conditions are met, you will automatically receive the other end of the bargain. So I think that's really exciting. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons of a smart contract. What are some of the advantages with smart contracts?
So the advantages, I believe, with smart contracts are specifically the autonomous adherence to things. So the conditions are in, and unless conditions are met under that contract, the two parties do not get the resulting reward or the resulting asset that was being transferred. Again, whether that be a crypto asset or a property asset or whatever. So I believe that what it does a lot is it limits intermediaries and the costs that could be involved with those. Again, we're talking about fairly simple tasks here, not necessarily complex. And then it also ensures that you won't have potential litigation in the future because the agreed terms were put into this contract, into this digital contract. And again, all conditions were met before any settlement happened, and settlement will not happen if those conditions are not met by either party.
Yeah, I mean, I think there still will be dispute resolution because I think terms could be interpreted differently. But I'm just really excited because for once, it could be trustless. Like if you want me to go get milk for you and you wanted to pay me $10 for that, then once I get you milk, the smart contract will automatically pay me $10.
Correct. Once there's validation that the milk was received. Correct. Which is a little more difficult in, I believe, the smart contract world when you start to have physical validation. It's almost like you consider within FedEx and such, right? Did the package arrive? They signed for the package, then that would go. So yes, absolutely something that could be done. I think it's a little, that's more of a complex because you are starting to add Oracle to the smart contract process. But I do believe that's where the community wants it to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that shouldn't be a big problem. I mean, we really look at the dispute resolution model today, right? You look at the eBay, PayPal, they all have protection programs, either for their buyer or seller or payer or pay. And there is verification method for shipping. I think what is really cool and really what I'm excited about is that you're basically putting the physical into virtual and streamlining the process. So you could even have a consensus layer where all it does is validate shipment. I'm kind of excited about smart contracts. I think it's going to be super awesome in the future as it evolve and become a lot better. What are some of the challenges though with smart contracts?
So I think the biggest challenges start with the development of them. Once a smart contract is on, it's there and it does what it's supposed to do. So it's not necessarily in the execution of it or not. It's in more of the development. And the complexities that can be put in. I know that there's some sites out there that have a very easy way you can do a smart contract in 2 or 3 minutes or something, but those aren't really on complex issues or complex processes that some people do. The ability to introduce bugs into smart contracts is more prevalent when every single smart contract basically has to be coded, although you are copying the code and putting it up. But I think that's a real a high risk. Whether or not there's been people able to access or get access to smart contracts through those bugs, I'm not aware of as of yet, but it's definitely a potential. Some of the other disadvantages we see in smart contract is, and I'm not sure, I haven't seen anything on it if this has changed, but all state stays within the smart contract, and you reference from your account, of course. But when that smart contract goes, the ability to keep the state in the current block, but when the smart contract has reached its end, is there need to keep the data state continually going from that point forward in more blocks. And I think that's another thing, is just filling up the memory and the state size, or the node size, when you're running full nodes on blockchains. And if those issues can be resolved on the development side, I believe that it will allow a lot more flexibility with and more complex processes to be to use smart contracts for.
So I'm really excited that I advise this project, because obviously I love and have experience working on a number of transactions in the last decades. What is the difference between Prasaga and the current smart contracts system?
That's and thank you for asking that question. I'll try to be brief, because I don't want to get technical. I'm going to try to keep this in the higher level. The main difference is what we do with Prasaga, and it was kind of referencing what I was talking about earlier. Instead of you having a wallet that's referencing a smart contract, and you could have numerous smart contracts that your wallet's referencing, and a smart contract can have numerous accounts that has reference to it for a transaction to be done at some point, whenever that, the transaction is sent, do this. What we believe is that the state should always be with your account, and your account should be on the blockchain. And instead of having to have so-called wallets and such, you have browser explorers that allow you to see all of the assets and all that you hold in your account. So instead of smart contracts, you have smart assets. And instead of wallets, you have the ability to list an open marketplace as assets that you would like to sell. And the other advantage is you have the ability to actual transfer ownership from one account on the blockchain to another account on the blockchain, which is something that you cannot do from smart contract to smart contract. So those are some of the things that we really focus on. Fail fast development environment. Because of the fact that in Prasaga, where a smart contract, you copy the code, download it, put it in a text editor, edit it, upload the code. I compare that to every time you want to write a Word document, you have to write the Word program. And in our architecture, the code actually sits on the blockchain, and you inherit from it. You inherit from an instance. Everybody inherits from the same instance, because everybody's using the same base code that's on the blockchain. It limits the ability for bugs and malicious code to be introduced.
Awesome. So Michael, where do people learn more about smart contract?
Yeah, Michelle. Well, the best place that I found in order to get information on it is just basically on Amazon. And there are some books out there. There's a cost on some of these, but that's because it's good information. Written by some fairly well-versed individuals. So I always like the token economy, how blockchains and smart contracts revolutionize the economy. What are some other ones? Legal tech, smart contracts and blockchain, a perspective in law, business and innovation from Springer and Kietsu. A couple others, the Cambridge Handbook of Smart Contracts, blockchain technology and digital platforms. And those are just three that are out there that I've looked over before and kind of to give me some edification on it. So those are three that I would recommend.
Awesome. And then where can people learn more about Prasaga?
Fantastic. Thank you for asking. Prasaga.com is our website. It is a lot of white papers, a lot of use cases there to go over. And then, of course, our Telegram group. Please join at Prasaga Official. And that's PRASAGA OFFICIAL.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.